Hey guys, welcome back to STA Farms. So on today's episode, we're going to kind of give a walkthrough of what we have planned for our garden. So I'm headed over that way now. Aaron's already out here. He's kind of walking across the dirt and figuring that out. But what we want to do is just get a good layout, get a good idea of how we want to lay or how we want to plant this garden. Last year we had our rows too close together, and we just want to make sure that we do a better job this year so we have more efficient growing with it. So let's see what Aaron's doing over here. What are you figuring out?
I was just trying to figure out where it'd be best to put everything. Where we broke up the new area over there, you can walk on here and feel how fluffy it is, but we still got some work to do over there. Where I think we'll probably be better to put the potatoes over there, like we talked about. But we still got some work to do on that. It's
Till it up again.
Need to be tilled. If we don't like that, I don't want to, but we might have to go get the disc and run a disc over it. But hopefully we don't have to. So, but if we have to, we do. So, but it's exciting times, don't you think?
I'm getting, well, I've got spring fever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've had it ever since the ice storm.
Right.
Ever since the ice storm left.
Yeah. So. Ever since all that stuff melted off. But we've got spring fever. The only thing is we just don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves because, I mean, it's still technically winter. I mean.
So in years past, we always get too excited for what most people call false spring. And we plant stuff, and then of course the frost would kill it, all that stuff. Or we would plant a big garden or plant a bunch of stuff and then lose interest in it whenever it got 100 degrees. But we've done a lot better the last couple of years, especially last year. Yeah. Last year was our best garden we'd had in a long time.
It was, but it needed some tweaking.
Yep.
It was our best producing garden, but like we said, it could use some tweaking, and that's what our purpose is with this garden.
So last year, I think Brandy might have already mentioned this. Last year our rows was too close together, and Brandy blames me for that. But I think it was a collaborative decision instead of just my decision. But she remembers differently, but it doesn't matter. But we're gonna do it different this year. We're gonna make sure we have plenty of room in our garden in between our rows, and that's just kind of what we're trying to figure out. We know what we want to plant. We're just trying to get an idea of where we're going to plant it. We have a pretty good idea how many plants we're going to plant and all that stuff. And it's a nice day. It's sunny, pretty warm for this time of year. And we just thought we'd get out and try to get a plant on this garden done. So.
Okay. So right here are our potatoes. We've already decided we want that to go in the spot that we just expanded the garden with.
Yeah. So that would be over here.
Yeah.
So I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera, but you can look here and you can see the tractor tire tracks better than you can over here. This is noticeably harder, the ground. It just hasn't been worked. More compacted, yeah. It just hasn't been worked up. And we knew that when we broke it. In fact, I think I made a comment on that video that we're going to have to go over a few more times. But we need to get this more fluffy, more worked up, and this here is going to be our area for potatoes. So this year our plan is to do mostly Kennyback potatoes. We like the Kennyback potatoes the best. That's what our grandparents grew when we was growing up. They do well in our soil. They taste good. I really don't know if Kennyback be considered a white or yellow potato. I guess white, wouldn't it?
I think it's a white potato.
Yeah. So, but anyways, that's what we like. And we're wanting to try to do some canning on the Kennybacks. We also got some red potatoes. What kind was that, Brandy?
Red Pontiac.
Red Pontiac. We like red potatoes. One of my favorite summertime dishes is fresh green beans from the garden cooked with red potatoes in them. Yes. And that's the smaller the better on the red potatoes, but you don't always get the real small ones. But we're going to do the red potatoes.
We got some Yukon Goat.
And Yukon Goat. And I don't really know what you use Yukon Gold for.
So the Yukon Gold are your good garlic roasted. They're soft yellow potatoes. They're good with smothered with butter and just
Everything's better with butter,
seasoning.
though.
Yeah, just a lot of seasoning, sautéed with
Oh,
something.
okay. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you planning on canning? Are we going to can those or just?
Gonna try to if we have enough. Yeah,
But mostly the Kennyback, I think, right?
yeah, mostly the Kennyback. But if we have enough, we'll can the Yukon Gold and the Red Pontiacs as well.
We'll probably end up with at least 3, maybe 4 rows, full length rows of potatoes here in the garden, and we hope it does well. And something else that I also want to do a few rows of along with potatoes are sweet potatoes. Now, sweet potatoes, we've honestly never had the best luck growing sweet potatoes. I love a good sweet potato. And like Brandy was talking about with the Yukon's butter and some marshmallows on there, can't go wrong.
Brown sugar.
Brown sugar, yes, can't go wrong with that. But we've never had really good luck growing them. So hopefully this year is different. So we're also going to have maybe a half a row or so of sweet potatoes. But that's the plan for this area in the garden, and that's the plan for our potatoes.
Yeah. All right. So what else do we got? Well, you know what? Let's just start over at the edge and kind of
Go
talk.
walk over there?
Yeah, we'll walk through and kind of talk about how we're going to space this out and plant what in what row.
Are you wanting to do the same like we did last year? Have what start here, or you want to change it up? Or?
Yeah, I think we'll start right here on this outside edge. So we want the viney stuff in the middle, like our cucumbers and our watermelon.
Okay, so I don't, as far as the order we put stuff in, I don't know that really matters. But the one thing we want to do, at least how we like doing it, we like putting our viney stuff more toward the center, like your watermelons. Cucumbers to an extent, but especially your watermelons or cantaloupes, because they vine out pretty good. And that way, whenever we're mowing, we don't have to move the vines and all that. We don't have to usually worry about that. So I think as long as we do that, I think wouldn't really matter. So
All right.
just whatever you think.
So last year, I know we had our cabbage and our peppers and our squash and zucchini on the outside. So
Yep.
that's probably what we'll do again, is keep it on the outside. So it'll be our first row.
Yeah. So as you've seen on one of our previous videos, we've already done some seed starts for our cabbage and our tomatoes and peppers. We'll talk about the peppers in a minute, but we have, I believe it was 12 cabbage
Yes.
plants.
12.
So hopefully we have 12 cabbage plants to plant whenever they're ready. That'd take up probably half a row with the length of our garden. And then our plan is to direct seed into the ground the squash and
Cucumbers.
and the cucumbers. And if we do any zucchini, I'm not sure if we'll do zucchini or not. But if we do, it's going to be direct seed into it. So you make our heel and you sow it in there.
So our next row is going to be corn. Are we going to do the corn and green beans together again, or are we going to do that separate?
Honestly, I think I'd prefer to do it separate.
All right.
Mama and Papa would do some together, but we did that last year, and it worked pretty good. But I just think it'd be better to keep them separate if we have the garden space. Now, if we end up not having the garden space, we might do it together. But right now, I think it'd be better to do it separate.
So the corn we have, what is it? Peaches and cream?
Oh, yeah, I believe it's peaches and cream.
So that's a nice sweet corn.
Yep.
Very delicious.
Yeah.
And then we have half runner green beans that we'll be planting.
Right, half runner green beans. Half runners are our favorite green beans for here in Kentucky. They grow well. They taste really good. Another popular green beans, tenderettes. The thing with tenderettes is they don't have the string on them. They're stringless. You just break them. But we think the half runners taste better. So that's what we're planning on growing. What our plan is on the corn is we'll probably do 1 row of corn. And then 2 weeks later, we'll plant another row. And then maybe 2 weeks after that, plant another row. We might have a total of 3 rows of corn. At least 2, maybe 3. And that just kind of keeps us in corn year round. I don't particularly like the canned corn. We've not been able to can it and keep its summer corn flavor. However, freezing it
It does a lot better when it's frozen.
Like, I know a mom cooked some for Sunday dinner just last week, and it tasted just like it come out of the garden, and she froze it. So that's our plan with the corn, is to freeze it.
Yep.
So, and then the green beans. You want to talk about the green beans?
So, so the green beans, I mean, I can can them or I can freeze them either way. I've still got several quarts of green beans canned in the pantry. I don't have any in the freezer, but I would probably, if I've got the time and everything, I'd probably just can them up.
Yeah, green beans is one of the things that, at least for us, we've been able to can the green beans, and they really keep their flavor.
Yes.
Whereas, like I just mentioned with the corn,
It doesn't do
corn
as good.
doesn't keep that. If you've never, and if you're watching this video, you most likely have had good fresh garden corn. But if you've never had good fresh garden corn, go buy you some
Yeah.
and taste it. Compared to what you buy at the store, and it's comes in a can.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no comparison to that.
Canned corn just does not have that crisp freshness
Yep.
that you can save with freezing it.
Yep.
So our next couple of rows after we do our corn, then we will get into our tomatoes. We've got several of the Ruckers.
Yeah, so that's what I'm most excited about this year, is the tomatoes. Because me and Brandon, we've kind of, I guess you could say, going back in time with our tomato plants here. So growing up, my grandparents, they grew Ruckers tomatoes. That's what they canned. They would put up, I don't even know how many cans of tomatoes every year. They do juice, they do just canning tomatoes. And Mom never did do much of the sauces or anything like that. But it was mostly just canned tomatoes and canned tomato juice. And Rutgers was their go-to. And if you know anything about Rutgers tomatoes, they were a collaboration between Campbell Soup Company and Rutgers University. I think it was like back in the 30s. I don't know. Me and Brandon was talking the other day. It's just a lot of the stuff that you grow now, or that you, especially if you buy at the store, but stuff that you buy, it just doesn't seem like it has that old time taste to it. So we decided to get the heirloom seeds, which is what we did, and that's what we're trying this year. And we really, really hope it goes out. So we kind of got a little bit of kick of nostalgia in there, and hopefully with some really, really good results on the tomatoes. But with the Ruckers, I believe we got, was it 24?
We're attempting to have 24.
Yeah, we've planted
slips.
24 of the sales in the seed starts. They've not all come up yet. But we'd like to have hopefully 18 to 20 at least tomato plants.
Hoping at least a whole row of Rutgers.
Yeah, a whole row of Ruckers. And that I'll let you talk about the canning. I don't know what your plan is for the canning of the tomatoes.
So as far as canning the tomatoes, I'm not really sure. I kind of want to attempt some tomato sauce. I don't know. I will probably definitely make some juice and just can up diced tomatoes. That's for sure, because that goes good in soups and chili.
Chili. That's
Yeah.
I'm not huge on canned tomatoes, but there again, it's been a long time since I had a good Rutgers tomato. I don't even know. Like I know in years past when we've looked for tomato plants, we've not been able to find Rutgers.
Right.
And I understand, with the new plants and everything, the more disease resistance, they produce more. But this is personal opinion here. I don't think they have the flavor. And when you're small homesteader like we are, just growing it for yourself, I'm willing to give up on some of the yield and
Yes.
the disease resistance and all that, just for a better flavor. And I think I'm really, really hoping we have that with the Rutgers.
Right.
But now, Bray's got one she's really excited about too, I believe, don't you?
Oh yeah, my Mr. Stripey. So
Yep.
growing up, I remember having these huge yellow and pink striped tomatoes that, my mama would slice up and have on the table. My mom would have them on, we'd use them for sandwiches, or you just grab them, pick them off the vine and eat them like an apple that way. They were just, delicious. I'm definitely getting spring fever and ready for summer. I'm ready for this harvest.
Ready to grab one and eat it, ain't
Yes.
you? How many of those did we plant on the seed starts?
I think we have 6 of those. So I think we have 6 of the Mr. Stripey. Or no, did we do 2 rows of it? So
No, I think you only did one row of it.
I only did one row of Mr. Stripey.
Yeah.
And then the other ones, I did 2 rows of the Golden Jubilee.
Yep.
And it's a yellow tomato that it's also good for canning, and it's low acidic.
Yeah. Growing up, my favorite was the yellow tomatoes. And I think that's why my favorite was yellow tomatoes, because they were less acidic. I think that's why I liked them better. But the Golden Jubilees, I think we had 12 rows of those, or 12 seed starts of those.
Yes, 2 rows, 12.
And I think all but one of those have came up already.
So far.
Which we're going to show. We'll insert the video of our plants and stuff in here. But I'm most excited about the Rutgers and also the Golden Jubilee. I think Brian's really excited about the Mr. Stripey. But we're really, really, really hoping for a good, old-fashioned tomato crop this year. And if nothing else, if we can just get 4 or 5 that we can just slice up and eat with lunch or something, then that's okay too. So, but
Or a nice BLT.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
now, peppers. So we ordered some heirloom pepper seeds, and they've not come up. I don't know if they're going to. We'll see. What I've read about them is the peppers, it's recommended for the soil to be 80 to 90 degrees, and quite honestly, the soil's not that temperature in our house. And so you can put them on heat mats and stuff like that, which we don't have. If they don't come up, we will find some at one of the local stores of bell peppers.
It might not be our heirloom variety.
It might not be right. It might not be heirloom variety, but we will get some bell peppers, and we like bell peppers with in different things, cutting them up and with like fajitas and salsa and salads, stuff like that. But the next row over is going to be bell peppers, not the whole row, but probably about half of the row will be enough for us, don't you think?
Yeah. And then we'll do our cucumbers. What kind did we get? Just national pickling cucumbers.
Yeah, national pickling cucumber. I think that's what it was called.
So they're supposed to be the smaller ones. It's not. They're not going to get the bigger size.
They're considered pickles instead of cucumbers. We always call them cucumbers.
Yeah.
And pickles both.
Well, they're cucumbers until you can them up and pickle them, which means add in the vinegar and everything to it.
But like the long green cucumbers you buy at the store, that's not what these are. These are the smaller, prickly ones, which is what we both grew up with.
Yeah.
I can't count. I've eaten hundreds of them right out of the garden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when growing up, during the summer, a good dinner for us, the Mama would be fresh tomatoes out of the garden, fresh pickles out of the garden, mashed potatoes, and some green beans. And we wouldn't even have a meat for the lunch. And you get full on that.
Exactly.
Nothing like it. Nothing like it.
And too, I wish I knew what variety she grew, but I remember my mom had a pickle patch one year in one of the communities here in our county. We had a pickle processing place, and a lot of people would have pickle patches, about an acre or 2 acres worth of pickles.
Yep.
And you'd spend hours and hours of picking pickles and then take them to the pickle place on Saturday and sell them. And yeah, I remember that growing up.
Yep. So after that comes more toward the middle of our garden, are going to come our watermelons. Now, I love watermelon. Unfortunately, as I've gotten older, I've got to where I can't eat watermelon. I've got some type of an allergy where I just can't eat them. And that's unfortunate, because I could eat a whole one by myself. But we are planning on growing them. What I can do, I can eat a little bit. I just can't eat a whole lot. And the watermelon that we're growing, I don't know what the name of it is, but it's a yellow watermelon. At our church, there was a member that grew watermelons, and he would have prize-winning watermelons, take them to the fairs and everything. And he gave us some seed that he had kept. There's no telling how long he'd been keeping seed from this watermelon. And he gave us I don't know, probably 50, 100 watermelon seed. And we've kept them in the freezer. And we would attempt to grow them, and we never could get them to grow. But last year, we decided we was going to make it work, and we did. We got some watermelons to grow. I think we got, 2 or 3 watermelons?
Yeah.
And they were delicious. Now, Growing up, my favorite watermelon was the Charleston Gray and then this yellow watermelon. Yellow was my favorite, then I guess the next one would be Charleston Gray. So I don't know that we're going to grow any red watermelons, but we are planning on growing our yellow watermelons that we've kept seed from for, there's no telling. These watermelons, like I said, they date back, I'd say, that to the 80s or 90s is how long he's been doing these seed.
Well, we've had the seeds ourselves for going on 15 years.
Yeah. And
So-
we've kept them in the freezer, and we still I think every one we planted last year came up. And so we saved some seed out of the watermelons that we harvested, but we still got some of the old seed too, and we're planning on doing that for the watermelons. So
As far as vegetables, and that's pretty well everything that we've got planned to go into our garden. We do have some flower seeds. So last year I added some zinnias. They were beautiful.
yes, they were.
It was just the masterpiece of the whole garden.
It was.
Casey would be like, I love our flower garden.
Yeah.
So I definitely wanted to plant some more zinnias. We have some sunflower seeds that I want to get planted. I got a couple of sunflower heads last year, but they just didn't do as well. But yeah.
Yeah. If you've never tried that in your garden, try some, especially the zinnias, because I really don't know how to describe it. I mean, you can like buy your flowers at Walmart and plant them in your flower beds and stuff like that, but it's them growing from seed up, and it's as pretty as they were. It's almost like we had our own little flower farm, really.
And they made beautiful bouquets.
They were beautiful. I mean, I'm not saying it's because we grew them. That's not it. It was just they were beautiful flowers, and it just set the garden off. You could cut them and put them on the kitchen table and have fresh flowers. It was well worth it, and they grew really well. So, but that was probably what grew the best last year was flowers.
It was. It really was.
Mhm.
All right, guys. So that pretty well wraps up this video of what we plan to put in our garden for this year. If you haven't already, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, pound that subscribe button, and as always, we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.